Hey gang, how about having a cup of cacao with me this morning? Got my Om for the Holidays cup given to me by my mother-in-law. It's so cute. It's actually gigantic. I've got a big cup of cacao this morning. And I wanted to share a couple of thoughts this Wonder Wednesday around grief and sadness at the holidays and what's been coming up for me. And I'm curious if any of this has been coming up for you. So, growing up, the holidays were always such a big deal. My mom would decorate everything, the tree and the lights and all the pomp and circumstance of the holidays, all of the stuff that you think about when you think about this time of year from a really sweet perspective was my experience. Fast forward, when I had kids, I really felt called to, inspired to duplicate that for my children. And it became a thing where we had these traditions and we had to do the traditions every year. Like it was just not Christmas without Christmas brunch and without the Christmas jazz music and without the certain way we did things like opening family gifts on Christmas Eve and then Santa gifts on Christmas morning brunch and then stockings and then having a really nice meal on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and maybe gathering. I mean, it was a whole big production. Present day, it's very different. And several years ago when I moved from Virginia to Florida and I moved away from my family, I had my very first Christmas here with my current partner. But I was alone as far as my kids were concerned. So I did not have all of that inspiration, I guess, to do all the stuff. And what I'm noticing for myself as time has gone on is the past couple of years, my kids have not been here for Christmas, and I've not really felt the call or the need or the desire to do any Christmas decorations. So if you walked around here, you would literally see no sign of Christmas. I bought some flowers with a silver pine cone in them. That's about as Christmassy as I've got. And my own mug. So what I've noticed, and I've felt rather at peace with that decision, and what I've noticed is this feeling of melancholy, a lot of introspection, a lot of reflecting, a lot of remembering the past holidays and what they meant to me, how I felt, and what I wish to carry forward. And what I've noticed is also getting caught up in the energy of everyone around me. You can't go anywhere whether you celebrate Christmas or not. It is everywhere. The lights, the trees, the music, the Santas, the candy canes, the gingerbread, all of it. And what I'm noticing within myself is that I don't completely have a desire to get into all of that, yet there is this deeper part of me that remembers it so well and that misses it as well. And it's a confusing feeling to really not wish to participate in something, but yet be constantly pulled into it. And I'm sitting with all of the feelings that are coming up around that, and the sadness around the traditions that are no longer, and the gathering of family that isn't anymore. And for those who have loved ones who have transitioned from this physical world into the spiritual one, that's another layer and level of grief and sadness that they're likely experiencing with the person missing from that table for different reasons than perhaps me. And having that compassion and holding that soft heart when you feel this deep, tremendous sadness. I remember my grandmother did not like the holidays, and I never understood that as a kid until much later when I found out that a family member died on Christmas Day when she was young, and it really tainted the season for her. And I can see where if met with tragedy or some aspect of the holiday is not the same, how it could feel very, very different. And at the same time, we always have a choice. We always have a choice in how we celebrate, when we celebrate, where we celebrate, who we celebrate with, and if we do it all. And how, for me, this year is going to be a little bit different than it was last year. And I'm sure next year will be, again, also very different. But I'm just curious if any of you wondering on this Wonder Wednesday, if this holiday season is feeling different for you and what's coming up for you around maybe some grief and sadness that you might be feeling. And if you're not, that's amazing, all for the joy. But I also recognize that with the joy that I feel and the gratitude and appreciation for my life and all the blessings I have, I can simultaneously feel sadness and grief around what is no longer when it comes to the holiday season and the traditions that I cultivated for 2 decades or more. So just sharing what's on my heart and in my mind today. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, amazing, wonderful holiday season. Cheers to you and an amazing Christmas.